So to get things started, I know we haven't done a lot of this, but you will definitely need to be very active in your participation today. I don't necessarily need to see a lot of like writing or typing or responding, but you do need to follow along on your own computer with what I'm doing to really learn how this stuff is going to work. So first thing I want to see is just people's ability to use the green yes check. So if you're familiar with how to use that, just go ahead and give me a green yes check right now. If you're not familiar with how to use that, what I need you to do is, if you're looking on your screen, there should be like a black taskbar for Zoom. And one second here. And the black taskbar for Zoom will be either at the top of your screen or the bottom of your screen. And in one of those buttons that you can click says participants, and there's a couple little outlines of some cartoony people. Click on that, and that should open up a box with everybody who is currently in the class. And then what I would like you to do is go to the bottom left of that box where you see the yes check button and click that, just so I know that you're here and that you're able to follow along with what's going on. So I see 5, 6 people, 7 people now, 8 people. Okay, so make sure that you are getting that clicked, that yes green check button clicked, so I know that you can kind of hear me and that you can follow along with what we're doing today. So again, if you missed out on where to do that, there is a bar either at the top of your screen or the bottom of your screen, a black bar that goes along with Zoom. And there's buttons on it, and one of them says participants. Click on the one that says participants. It opens up a box with everybody's name in it who's in the class right now. Go to the bottom left of that box where that green check circle is and click on that. Just so I can see, looks like we have 11 people so far who found that and have clicked on it. Just so I know you're there, because it's important that you're all there and listening and following along with what we're doing today. So I'm guessing there's going to be plenty of questions as well as we go through this. So let's see, some people don't have the check option. That's interesting. Weird. Is there a thumbs up that you can give me instead? Cool. Yeah, if you can't give me a check, then give me a thumbs up. So it looks like that. If you see, you can see me at the top of your list there. I gave a little thumbs up, or you can do the green check or the thumbs up, either way. Just to make sure that everybody's there and following along and good to go. All right, so we're gonna have to get started here. And honestly, it shouldn't be too much of a complicated thing. However, some people run into technical glitches when this sort of thing happens. And so it might take me some time to kind of troubleshoot some individual issues, but please let me know if you are having individual issues as we are going through this. So first thing I need to make sure is that everybody here can either upload or update and install a plugin called Cami, or you might already have it. So first thing I want you to do, so we're going to go ahead and clear out, I'm going to clear out all these yes checks. I'm going to clear those out. And what I need for you to do is go to Google Classroom. So everybody go to Google Classroom, click on your classwork tab so your screen looks just like mine here. And then we're going to figure this out, and hopefully it'll work for pretty much everybody. If it doesn't, then we can certainly try to get this going. So first thing I need to make sure is that when you click on the classwork tab, hopefully if you hover over your first initial up here in the upper right-hand corner, it'll say Google account, and it'll say your name, and it should also have your school email address written as well. So you can see my Google account with my name when I hover over it, and then there's my email address right there for my school account. Hopefully yours has the same thing. Now, in order for this to work as smoothly as it possibly can, If you go even above that, if you hover above that, I mean, I think most people, if you're not using Chrome, then this shouldn't be an issue. If you are using Chrome, hover above that, and you can see this other little circle right there. Right now, I am logged into Chrome using my personal email account, not my school email account. I've got mine set up to work just fine, but sometimes if this little circle here is not the same as this circle here, you will also need to click on this one and then change the account or add in order to log in to the Chrome browser itself into your school email account. So this icon here and the one above it should be the same icon. Again, on mine, it doesn't really matter because I've been able to get it set up to work correctly. But if it's somebody else's account that is logged into Chrome, this might not work very well for you. So click on that little circle above this, and then if you need to, log in to your school email account on the Chrome browser itself, because that can make a big difference. So you'd end up adding other people if you need to do that. So I'll give you a minute to make sure that these two icons look the same on your screen if you're using Chrome. If you're not using Chrome, I don't think it'll be a problem. But if you are using Chrome, there can be some little issues here and there if it's not all synced up correctly. Okay, so once we have that, I need you to click on the 9 dots here, where if you hover over it, it says Google Apps. Click on that. And then I want you to open up Google Drive. So open up your Apps button, click on Google Drive. And again, just to make sure, when you open Google Drive, it should still be connected to, if we take a look here, here's my school email address again. So the school email account, if you hover over it, it should be your school email account right there. Make sure that this Google Drive is also linked to your school email account, because if it's not, then it's not going to end up working. Okay. What we're going to do is make sure that you either have or can install the Kami PDF document editor. So if you go to the right-hand side, you'll see calendar, keep, tasks, and it might not be exactly as it looks over here, but there should be a plus as well. If you see a plus icon and you hover over it, it should say Get Add-ons. Click on that button where it says Get Add-ons. And then we're going to search. I'm going to check my settings real quick too, actually. No, we're good. Okay. Search your apps and just type in the word Kami, K-A-M-I. And when you type in Kami, hopefully it'll give you an automatic option to select Kami PDF and document annotation. If not, just hit enter. And if you type in Kami and you hit enter, the first one that is popping up on your screen should say Kami PDF and then this says document annotation. If it says installed, you're good to go. If it doesn't say installed, then you can go to options and click on install. If you click on the little options button here and it says uninstall, it means you already have it. If you click on the three dots, and it says install, make sure that gets installed. So that's kind of the first step to getting all this set up, is that we're going to be using this document editor called Kami. So go ahead and make sure you have that. All right. It says not available for install. Okay. And I ran into this issue a little bit earlier today. If that is the case, then you will end up using something called DocHub. So type in DocHub and see if you can get that one going. If not, I'm gonna just check something out here real quick. There wasn't anything on the side of your Google Drive to get there. DocHub won't work either. Okay. So there are ways that we can get this to work. If it still isn't working today, like at the end of today's little lesson that we're doing, if it's still not working, then I would want you to drop by for academic support. Now, there's a possibility that we can still get this to work, even if it says it won't let you install. Let's see, good question here. So, let's view now with that. Maybe because it's a MacBook. I don't know. If it's a MacBook, you're probably using the Safari browser, right? Oh, you're talking about the plus button not being there. Okay. Okay, so if you go to the bottom right, is there a little arrow, little left arrow if you hover over the bottom right side of your screen where it says show side panel? Okay, and so when you click on show side panel, then you should be able to see the little plus with get add-ons. And then, cool, and then Cami. All right, and then on Chromebook, they're blocked. Okay, so got it. And so that's, okay, that might be because there's school machines. All right, if that's the case, I think we can still get these to work because somebody had this issue in first period and they said that they could still open it up using DocHub. And I'll show you how that's going to work here in just a second. So let's go ahead and let's see. I think we got the plus figured out here, and this is why this lesson takes a little bit of time because everybody's systems and setups are just slightly different, and things tend to work just slightly differently from person to person. So if you're having some issues on this, let me know. We'll try to troubleshoot them. So if you think that DocHub or Cami aren't going to work, here's what I need you to do. Let's head back to, and this is actually at this point, I want everybody to go back to just the regular Google Classroom, go to your classwork, click on the Practice Cami assignment. So everybody click on the Practice Cami assignment. And then click on where it says Blank Reflections Notes, the PDF. And it should just bring up something just like on top of your screen. And you should be able to see kind of in the background the Google Classroom stuff. At the top of your screen, there's this drop-down menu that says Open With. Hopefully people can see that. At the top of your screen, so when you go to Google Classroom, the Classwork tab, click on the Practice Cami assignment, click on the PDF. At the top of the screen, you should have a drop-down that says Open With. If you have the option to annotate with Cami, click on that. If you have the option to annotate with Cami, click on that. And then you'll have this weird pop-up in the upper right-hand side. It seems like a scanned PDF. Would you like to add the text? Just click on No Thanks. We don't need to do that. So if you were able to do that, we're just going to be using Cami. If you see a drop-down for DocHub, which it seems like the people who were not allowed to add due to admin blocking or whatever, you should be able, hopefully, it looks like you're able to see DocHub. So click on that one if it's DocHub. Both of these programs work in pretty much the same way. I think Cami, the only reason I'm choosing Cami, they both do the exact same thing. The reason I'm using Cami is because I think Cami is a little bit easier to share your work, but you can still do the exact same thing in both programs. So here's DocHub, here's Cami. They both do the same thing, and I'll show kind of how this is going to work for both platforms. Excellent. Okay. So it looks like if you weren't able to do, the people who are having issues with loading Cami because of admin, but it lets you edit with it, you just can't download it. Got it. Okay. Well, that's okay. As long as you can get in there and use it, it'll be just fine. Works the same way. So let's go ahead and I'll walk you around this program a little bit. I'm going to start with Cami because I think most people are going to be using Cami. If you have to use DocHub, totally fine as well. Like I said, they work really similarly. So today is basically just about making sure that we can use the different functions inside this, because your assignments are actually going to be done inside this program. Now, I'm going to give you an out. If you have a printer, so this is only for people who have a printer. If you have a printer and you can print out the assignments at home, you are more than welcome to print them out and do them by hand, and then just take a photo and upload the photo of your work as your assignment. That's totally fine. I just know that nowadays, like when I was growing up, a lot of people had printers at home, but printers, like they're so obsolete at this point that not a ton of people have them anymore. And so that's why I'm showing you this kind of PDF editing form that we're using for these assignments. But if you do have a printer and you would prefer to print these out at home and fill them out by hand and take a picture and upload it, you're 100% welcome to do that. So that would be the other option. So you're either using Cami or DocHub, or if you have a printer, feel free to print them out. All right, so there's some stuff already filled in here. If you're using Cami, you can see the topic and the date. And if you hover over it, it brings up this little blue box and that sort of thing. So you can actually X those out and get rid of those, because I did this lesson back in first trimester as well. You can see it was on October 13th. I'm just going to get rid of that as well. If you're using DocHub, they're kind of fixed and you can't really do anything with them, which isn't a problem. It just is there, and you can change the date by crossing this off if we need to, but I'm not really worried about that. So with Cami, in order to type, because some of the, in a lot of these assignments and things like that, you're going to have to type. You're going to have to type in numbers for things down here. Now, this isn't an actual assignment. These are notes, but on assignments as well, you're going to need to type in numbers. Sometimes you'll be typing in words. You'll definitely type in your name and the date and things like that. So to get things typed in, just click on the left-hand side here where it says text box. Click on text box. And then the text size, font size, let's go 16 for font size. And you can use black text or red. I'm going to go with red just because I think it stands out and it makes it more obvious what I've actually just typed, because if it's just black text, it'll blend in a little bit more. So I'm going to use red. And then typing is as easy as just clicking on where you want to type and then just start typing. So I can type in my name. And then over here with date, I'll create a new text box. And today is February 8th, 2021. Topic, reflections. And so you can just type in right on the paper there using text box. If you're using DocHub, if you haven't figured it out already, it's the add text button. In DocHub, I usually use, I think, right around 12-point font size. And then to change the text color, click on the standard color here, and then you can use this little dot and slide it all the way up. I'm going to go with red and click on save. And then for name, Mr. Myers. And if you want to move it around, like if you type it in and you feel like it's not in the right spot and you want to move it, there's these 6 dots here. And you can just click on those 6 dots and you can move it and drag it around to where you want it to go. And then for the date, today's the 8th. All right. So that's our text. So for either program, you can type directly onto it. Now, in terms of typing things in here, so for example, when we actually do these notes tomorrow, we're going to actually do these notes tomorrow. I'm just kind of giving you a heads up on how the program works today. This might be a good way for you to actually follow along with the notes at home. You can type things in here, and just as a heads up, tomorrow, our first definition. This whole unit, by the way, is about things called transformations. And transformations have to do with coordinate grids. They have to do with graphing things. And basically a transformation is just, you have some shape on a graph, and a transformation is changing that shape on the graph to look like something else, or to move it, or to twist it, or rotate it, or make a mirror image, or whatever. And so the things that we're learning about, like I said, this is just a little bit of a heads up. It says it's an operation that maps an original figure called the pre-image onto a new figure called the image. And we'll go over this tomorrow. So this isn't really a big deal. This is just, like I said, today more about getting you to interact with the document. So that's it for text, for typing. The other thing I'm going to show you how to do today has to do with actually putting points on a graph and graphing things. So let's go ahead and take a look. So again, we're not really going to do any of the actual notes today, really. We're just going to go ahead and focus in on graphing this triangle here with problem number 1. Now, in terms of graphing, we need to be able to draw on these. And so if we're talking about Cami, you're going to use the drawing button. And for drawing, putting a point on a graph, having a like pen size of 6. The width of the pen, 6 is a good number for that. And let's go with red as well. So if you haven't selected red for your color, make sure we're using red. So that's going to be what the settings that we're using for Cami. For DocHub, in order to get the pen and put a dot on your graph, you're going to click on now it says add line, but you're going to click on the draw freehand. I think on most people's screen, if you hover over this one right here next to the text, it'll say draw freehand. So that's the one we want there. Now, if you click on this little down arrow, there's different things we can do with drawing, but we want the top one where it says draw freehand. And the pen width of 3, we definitely want it more than 3. So I think we wanted it about, let's see. Yeah, 8's going to be good for that. So make your pen size 8 if you're using DocHub. And we're also going with red, so you can, if it's back over here on black, just take the circle and move it all the way up. Save. Now on either one of these, graphing the point -4,2 on Cami is going to be a little bit challenging because maneuvering your mouse to that exact point is a little bit tough. So we need to be able to zoom in on this. So let's go ahead and zoom in. The way that you're going to zoom in is on this little blue menu at the top here. Near the right-hand side, you'll see this plus and minus, the zoom in, zoom out. So let's zoom in. And I'm going to zoom in all the way to 210%. That'll make it nice and easy to put good points on here, pretty precise points, and not have to worry too much about the location, because the bigger the image is, the easier it is going to be able to place those points. If you're using DocHub, your zoom in buttons are over on the left-hand side. So let's go ahead and zoom in. And I don't think there's any zoom in values here, but just zoom in until it's almost taking up the whole screen. Just so it's nice and big on your screen, makes it easier to place your coordinates. And then for placing these points, it's as easy as just clicking your mouse. So for point A, it says it's at point A is at -4,2. So we're going to put that point on the graph. So -4,2 is going to be left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 2. And so you can place your pointer right in the middle of that -4,2, and then just click, one click, and it places your point right on the graph. So that's the point -4,2. The next one is 4, 7. So +4 and +7. So we start in the middle, go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's the second from the top. And there's the point 4, 7. And click. And that's point B right there. And it tells us we have a triangle. And it says the third point C is at 5, 1. So this was 4. So there's 5 up 1 right here, the point 5, 1. And click. And so we've got our 3 points, A, B, and C for the triangle. If you're using DocHub, same idea. We've got our draw freehand tool. Pen is at a size of 8. We're using red. So here we go, -4, and then up 2, and then just click. So same idea as, not sure why that's, oh, there we go. 8 might not be enough. Let's try 12. Yeah, 12 might be better. 15 might even be better. So, sorry, this one's a little bit slower. Yeah, let's go with 15. So 15 is a good size there because it makes it easier to see. All right, so we've got 15 and then -4, 2, and then 4, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 7, second from the top. And click. Mine's a little bit slow. There it is. And then 5, 1, over 5, up 1. That's right here. And we can click. And those are the 3 points. So we're looking at same thing here. I might actually use my select tool here. Click on that. I might make that a little bit smaller. Maybe I'll go with 4. 4 might be a better size here. So if you click the select tool in Cami and you actually click on the circle, you can actually change the color. You can change where it is. You can change the size of the point. I'm going to change my point size to 4. All right. Now the last thing we're going to do actually on the document is to connect these with lines because it tells us it's a triangle. So we want to actually connect these all up with lines. And so in Cami, you're going to click on Shapes. And underneath Shapes, you'll see all this stuff over here. We want to go with a line size of 2. And for the shape, you don't want rectangle, ellipse, or triangle. You want insert line. So click on Insert Line. Make sure we're on red. So 2 for the line size, insert line, red. And then you're just going to go to the middle of the circle, whichever circle, and then click and drag from one circle to another. And you're going to get some like degrees and coordinates and things like that as you're dragging. But when you let go, it's just a line. And then I'll just click and drag again from here to here. And for the third one, same thing, click and drag. And we have our triangle. So we're good to go. And so as you're working on assignments, and even if you want to follow along with the notes like this, you can kind of build your notes and make everything look nice as we're going along with notes as well. So that's how that's going to work. We haven't really done any of the actual lesson yet. Again, it's just more about making sure you can use this program. Now, if you need to make any adjustments to these lines, click on Select, choose the line, and if you hover over it, you can see this blue dot at the top and the blue dot at the bottom. If you hover over the blue dot until you see the hand, you can click on the hand and hold it down and just move it around and adjust it and do it, fine tuning if you want to, just to make it a little bit more exact if you want to. Now for DocHub, to connect the lines on DocHub, there isn't like a shape tool here that you can use. So you actually just have to hover over this little down arrow where it says choose tool. And this is where your shapes are at. So you've got draw freehand, which is what we're using the dots with. And then you've got rectangles, circles, and then line. That's what we want. We want add line. So you're going to click on add line. We don't want 15. Let's go to 8 for the line width. So line width will go with 8. Keep it on red. And then this one is a little bit more challenging to use than Cami's because when you click and hold and you connect them, yeah, 8's a good size. And then you let go, it actually creates like a rectangle around this whole thing, which makes it a little bit annoying. Sometimes you'll have to go to the select tool, the pointer, to get that little dotted rectangle to go away. So if you click on the pointer tool, the little dotted rectangle will go away, and then you can go back and click on the line and then add your second line. So it's a little bit fidgety, but not too bad. Works very similarly to Cami. Click on the pointer tool, go back to line, and then we can connect those up. And we've got our triangle. So now if you want to make adjustments to these, if you didn't connect them up as well as you wanted to, if you hover over it, you might be able to see there's that like orange dotted line. You can click on that, and then you can select either end, these white circles, and you can move it around and adjust it and fine tune it if you need to. Okay. So that's it for kind of the basics of using this program. That's really all we're going to be doing with it. I needed to make sure that you could use it or like have it in the first place, and we're going to be editing with it. Now, if you're using Cami, this is where I'm going to show you actually how I want you to submit your work. So this is why we have this practice assignment. So I want you to click on the View Assignment button. And I'm actually going to have to use a different classroom in order for me to show this to you because I'm not a student in this class, so I can't actually see the turn-in section like you can. But I am a student in one of Mr. Gibson's classes. That way I can actually show you how this works. And so I'm just going to click on a random one here. And it's going to look the same. I mean, the turn-in area looks pretty much the same no matter where you're at. So if you click on View Assignment, you'll see this area here where it's got the original PDF up at the top, and then you have this Add or Create button. We're going to be using this button in just a moment, but before we do, go back to, if you're using Cami, click on your document. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. All right. And if you want to turn this in with everything, with the things filled out, I don't need you to fill out the rest of it. I just want, I want you to turn this in as it is, as it looks just like this. So you're going to click on the Share button. Now the Share button is up on this blue bar, and it's under where it says Share Document. So you see there's all these options here. You've got Menu, Help, Download, Save, Print, Open File. I want you to click on the Share Document though. It's like this cell phone share button that you see on a lot of cell phones, the little 3 dots with the lines. Click on that. There's not a lot you have to do here. So all you have to do is click on the Copy button right here. It says Google Sharing. So all you have to do is click on Copy, and it'll say Copied. So that link there has automatically been copied. And then you're going to go back to your turn-in section of the assignment, and then click on Add or Create. And what you're going to do is you're going to link that shared file into the turn-in section. So you're going to click on Link. Don't click on Google Drive or File or anything else. Click on Link, and then paste it in. So you can right-click and click on Paste. Or if you know the shortcut for the keys, it's Control-V. On an Apple, it might be Command-V, I think. And then just click on Add Link. And that'll automatically add that document. It'll link it right there. That way I can open it up and then click on Turn In. So I'd like you to do that. If you're using Cami, you're going to click the Share button, click on Copy, click on Add or Create, go to Link, paste it in, and then click on Turn In. Go ahead and do that right now. If you are using DocHub, you are going to click on the little person with the plus where it says Share or Send. We're not going to really bother with any of the sending from here. You're going to click on Get Shareable Link. So we're just going to link it again, just like we did with the Cami. So you're going to click on Get Shareable Link. And then if you click on the little clipboard here, it says copy link. So you're going to click on the copy link, and it'll say link copied with the little green check, link copied. Once you have copied your link, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to head back to the turn in section. You're going to click on add or create, click on link, and then paste it in. Either right click and click on paste, or Control V, or if you're on a Mac, Command V. Click on add link. It'll think for a second, and then it's good to go. And you can click on turn in. So once you have that in there, click on the turn in button, and that should be there as well. So I'm going to head back now to third period, and I'm going to see, hopefully we've got some people turning things in. So go ahead and give that a try. Try to get that turned in.